Hey guys.
Sorry. Hi guys.
We were joking around because we had just started recording this video and
I made a boo-boo. So, yeah, we had to take two. So, okay. Tell them what we're doing now.
we are going to be discussing our theories on 1, 2, 3, 4 different cases.
So, let's just get right in it. First case is going to be Miss Summer Wells, the 5-year-old that went missing June 15th, 2021. This case is still baffles me. There's so many different things involved, so many theories, that it just kind of blows my mind. Like this one right here. This is pretty much what might have happened, okay? Planting flowers with her mom and grandma. She wanted to go into the house. Mom literally watched her walk into the house. Brothers were on the internet, so she just went downstairs to play in the playroom. And when the mom finally came in and hollered down for Summer, she wasn't there. Gone. And that's when pretty much, excuse me, all hell broke loose. So, what do you think? More now.
I still cannot get the fact of father and our mother and possibly even grandmother being involved at this point in time.
Because doing our homework and writing stuff down and doing research and whatnot and watching videos and whatever, it's not looking good. There's a really strong possibility that they might have something to do with it.
See, according to the dad, him and the mom both took polygraph tests and passed it. And as we have said many times, law enforcement have not confirmed anybody passed a polygraph. The sheriff just recently said that everybody's still a suspect. The boys were removed from the house. That points to
and the grandmother decided she couldn't take anymore, and she decided to leave for a while, out of state. That kind of bothers me. I would want to stay around and find my granddaughter, but
yeah, if it's my kid's
understand.
granddaughter, you're going to fight me to get me away.
And what gets me is law enforcement. The more and more we watch and listen to law enforcement, they only want to do the credible call-ins, the credible information now. And we were discussing that earlier. It doesn't matter what kind of information you have. It all needs to be taken seriously. And it's all you guys too. The information that you may give us or that you may know, that's how we bring these people home or at least get halfway there.
Yeah.
But it just blows my mind that the law enforcement in that area, well, we only want to take, the actual, real information. Yeah. No. There's other people out there that, well, I saw the truck the other day or I know this family and whatnot. But that doesn't matter. All that's important. Very important. So don't ever think that you guys giving information to anything is, well, they're not really going to look into it. That's not that credible. It is, believe it or not.
Saying if you're worried about sending it to law enforcement, you always have the option of getting that information to us, and we will get that to where it needs to go.
Right, and whether it be we call somebody, in that area that is involved in this that we trust, we're definitely going to let them know, and we're not going to, you can remain anonymous, or you can, tell us who you are and whatnot, but we don't want anybody to be nervous or worried or think their words aren't important. All of it is. If it wasn't for you guys and our, what we do, nobody would be found. And mainly it's the information that you guys have that gets where it needs, that is helping find people.
And speaking of that, I want to jump in. Different cases that we've worked on, be it videos, working with organizations who are searching, working with the families, information from you guys that we're passing on and we're using. we could announce over 47 cases have been solved in just the 3 or 4 months that we've
Yeah.
really been doing this.
It's an amazing feeling, guys. I mean, we may not be there in person to say that, yeah, we did this, but we had a hand in it. And it was mainly information that we found from you.
This
That's
teamwork
awesome.
is just
47
incredible.
cases that we have helped contribute finding people, or
And-
at least, more information need be. But tell me that ain't the most awesome feeling in the world.
Yeah, because even better, over half of those were found alive and they're
Yeah.
safe today.
And that just blew my mind too, because when you get involved in this kind of stuff, when you think search and recovery, the recovery part does kind of sound like, kind of morbid. But, search, my mind automatically, they're gone. They're dead.
Yeah.
We're not, we're just going to find, clothing, or we're going to find the remains or whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah, because we always hope for the best, but being what we do, we
Oh,
have
God.
to be prepared for the worst.
And that's another thing, that's just something you gotta to be prepared for. A lot of people can't do it, and I didn't think I could, but the more we get into this, I don't care what we're finding. If we find, a foot, I don't care. That's enough for me.
It's an answer.
Yeah, it's an answer. But anyway, back on the Summers here. Let's see. So far, it looks like 4.6 miles has been searched, ground and aerial.
They searched that multiple times.
Yeah.
Most of this, 5 or 6 times, that area has been
Yeah.
searched.
And I mean, they've checked waterways, and they've tried to talk to people that have been around the area or may even know the family. They've had over 300 tips. Now how long ago was that when that was
This
the number?
was 3 weeks. No, this was almost a month ago at 3.
So 300 tips.
It's
so
over
I'm
800 right now. I believe it's close to 900.
And I mean, yeah, it takes a lot of man hours and whatever to deal with all that, but that's the point.
Yeah.
Keep them coming, guys. If it wasn't for you guys, they wouldn't be any halfway where they are. Let's see.
Because she's been missing for 8 weeks, just over 8 weeks at this point.
Right, and it still kind of hits home for all of us here. Like, ugh. Let's see. So it looks like maybe there had been some abuse going on.
Yes. I believe in 2020, the mom was actually getting a protection order against the dad, and she ended up having that dropped.
So obviously, the more I read here, I mean, there was a domestic assault charge. I can't go into too much, guys, but it just looks like there might have been some abuse and just some hard times going on in the families. So that's never what you want to hear.
And we don't want to base our thoughts on Summer Wells based off of past mistakes somebody may have had, but at the same time, when you've got this kind of drama going on in the house with the kids,
Right.
who's
That's
to say
your first-
it didn't
yeah.
escalate?
Because, I mean, if you watch a lot of crime shows, the first people they go to are the family members.
Yeah.
They're the first suspects, And just because that they've had, the domestic and whatever, that's not where we went. That wasn't our first clue. Like, oh, well, the dad did it or the mother did it.
See?
No, but unfortunately, that's part of her family, what she dealt with.
See, me personally, what threw the red flags up for me was where the house is. When you look like Google Earth, you look at the property, it's completely surrounded by like shrubs, hedges. You're not going to easily walk through that, especially carrying a 5-year-old girl.
Right, and I'm sure who is just completely losing her mind and screaming and hollering and
Yeah.
So I mean,
And grandma and mama in sight, that's a red flag to me. I do not buy this story. I could be wrong. This is my personal theory, but I don't buy the story that she was abducted from inside of her house.
I don't either. No, I really don't, because they have this red truck, red
Toyota.
Toyota that happened to be parked at the end of the driveway. Okay, nobody did now. Do they have anything to do with anybody in the family know of a red Toyota?
No.
No. There's this red Toyota parked at the end of the driveway. Nobody sees it. Nobody wants to know what is going on.
Yeah. Because this is very rural. There's not a lot of houses around.
Which, that's probably makes it easier for an abductor, but still.
Now, we don't want to rule out an abduction by any means.
Right.
But my theory is saying...
Yeah, it's kind of difficult that it would be. Nobody would notice that. That's what gets me. I mean, how could... Somebody would have had to have seen something or heard something. I mean, bottom line.
But now the red truck, Summer's aunt is missing from another state from a while back ago.
If you followed the case, you should, if not, Summer's aunt disappeared.
I don't know.
I want to say a couple of years ago.
Yes, since 2009.
More than a couple of years. She's been missing. And she still hasn't been found. But that red truck that we were just talking about, that was involved in her disappearance.
Yeah, there was a red truck there when her aunt disappeared. Now this red truck is here when Summer disappeared. But it still doesn't, to me, scream abduction.
Right.
Because they got to get her from that house to the truck anyway. And that leads me back to family would have to be involved in order for that to have happened and not see anything.
I mean, because I start to think, did they have an enemy? Did this family have an enemy somewhere? And, they're like, well, you did this to me, and so now I'm coming back for you, and this is what I'm going to do to you. That was one of my theories, that, they had, beef with somebody else, and now they're coming back to finish it. That was my theory, that foul play. I mean, there's so many theories about poor Summer that it just, yeah.
I'm even hearing theories from some of our viewers who believe that she may have been sold because a family member needed money to move to a different state.
Yeah.
I mean, this is where how far the theories are going. There's people who believe that when she was swimming with her mom and that boy, the boy allegedly said she went underwater for about 2 minutes and he pulled her out.
When did Summer go swimming? Is this what they were doing?
The day of
when the mom and her, or when Mom and Grandma were planting flowers, was she swimming?
No. The mom, Summer, and a boy was at a swimming hole where the mom and the 15-year-old boy allegedly was drinking twisted tea. He says that Summer went underwater. He went out and got her. The mom said, okay, let's just leave, get in the vehicle to leave. Summer fell asleep in the back seat. At this point, she was underwater, the boy reports, for about 2 minutes. So now you've got to look at what's called dry drowning, and that is there's enough water in your lungs that it slowly drowns you. And with her sleeping, laying down in the back seat, that could have very easily happened. And the video circulating of them in the vehicle that day, she's laying there by a milk jug. It appears that she's asleep. Some believe that she's not breathing in that video. I cannot confirm if she is or not, but she could have very easily drowned there in the back seat from fluid in her lungs.
Right. Which kind of makes me wonder, well, it does, it makes you wonder what was going on. I mean, I'm not bad-mouthing anybody. Absolutely not, because I'm not perfect, but the parents' mom wasn't paying it. It blows my mind.
And I heard that the boy almost immediately was sent out to his dad in New York. I've also heard reports that his dad had already got him an attorney. There is a lot going on here that law enforcement really, they've got no choice but to stay tight-lipped on so they don't end up compromising their own investigation, and those who are guilty, their defense doesn't get them off on a technicality.
Yeah. And I mean, it just amazes me. I mean, what's the background on the mother and father? Do we know how? I mean, because at one point I heard, I think it was you, Dad was at work when all this took place.
Yes.
And he worked in the city. So it's not like he was right there.
Yeah, because I believe he was doing drywall that day.
Yeah. So.
And the Candace, I believe is the mom's name, she allegedly called Donald and said, "Look,
Dad.
Summer's missing." He allegedly told her, "Call 911. He gathered up his tools and he went rushing home.
Right.
And Candace called 911.
Right.
If my 5-year-old kid is missing, I love Megan. That's my kid's mother. She's not going to be the
Megan.
first person I call."
Not me.
Yeah, this is Chrissy. Megan's in the other room that direction, so.
It was the way he was pointing. Okay. But anyway, very good point. You're not going to call me, you're not going to call the mom. You're going to be on the phone.
Now
See?
you're on it.
But you're going to call 911 immediately. I mean, yeah, I would, after 911, I'd be calling whoever and going,
Yeah.
"Okay, have you seen her? Where is she? What was she doing? Oh my God, I'm losing my mind." So yeah, that kind of bothered me a little bit too, to hear that she didn't call 911 right away. Because, well, it's a rural area. Maybe she just, wandered off to play or go look for something. And maybe that was just something she did. So maybe the mom didn't panic.
According to reports, Summer did love to be outside, but she was not one to wander away. I mean, being rural, that area, there's bears out there.
Yeah, because this is what, where they at? Tennessee. Sorry.
So she's not known to wander off on her own like that.
Yeah, that's what the report said. Dad said she doesn't do that. She just doesn't wander off. But I just...
See, the information coming from the parents, to me, it narrows it down to putting them in a tighter and tighter box.
Right. I mean, it just amazes me when we get information that comes in that sometimes they kind of make themselves look bad.
Yeah.
And so it kind of pulls up a red flag to me that, well, if you know this information, why didn't, doesn't sound quite right.
And again, this is our theories.
Yes, theories only, guys. We're not here to bash anybody. We're not here to, to make anybody feel bad or worthless. But these are our theories. This is the information we're given, and this is just automatically what, our minds have come to. So.
Well, you want to move on to the next one?
Yep. So anyway, that's about Miss Summer Wells there. Let's do, you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay. This next case, guys, just, this case, I don't know how to think about it. It's kind of we're Billy Bob Black and Mary Lou Black. They're from Atchison. They're older, and Mary was in very bad health. She had Alzheimer's, and Billy Bob wasn't the greatest either. And
she had Alzheimer's.
Yeah, she had Alzheimer's. He was a diabetic, and they were getting, they were older. And I mean, does it even say how long they were married?
I don't have that. I thought I had their.
Anyway, an older couple. Well, as time went on, they noticed that they weren't, either one of them were getting better. It was just getting worse, and I think poor Billy just finally decided one day he had enough, and they got in the car, and that was the last time anybody had seen them.
Yeah, this case to me screams what we call self-inflicted. Suicide is the term.
That's, I mean, and what I mean, Mary was advanced Alzheimer's, and, he was very poor health as well. And, he probably got tired of seeing poor Mary in such poor health that he finally said, if, we just need to end it. We'll go together.
See,
What do they call it? There's a name for that kind of...
end of life?
I guess it's end of life suicide. That ain't right. There's a special name for it where they're just like, you know what? We'll go together.
Because Billy has reportedly told his son that he would be better off without them. The Kansas River is not far from where they lived, but Adventures of Purpose sonared the boat ramps in that area and did not turn up their vehicle. For me, this type of situation, I don't think it would be something like a river. I think they want something more secluded, more intimate,
Because let's see, they took the car, and didn't we get information that they just enjoyed the day driving around, or was that just a theory?
That was a theory.
Okay.
They were seen driving on their street when they left the house and were never seen again.
Right.
Yet their IDs, their money, checkbook, their medicine was all left at home. The lights were left on.
So something kind of sticks out in my mind that maybe poor Billy just finally said, you know what? Our kids are raised. We're not getting any better. This is not the life we want to live, and may have ended it. And it breaks your heart. It really does.
In this one, we've got 3 locations to search right now that they are secluded. I would never condone any type of suicide.
No.
No matter how bad things are, everybody has options. So I look at this as a place to go to kind of clear your head, to relax.
And I've done it. I've gone out in the backwoods somewhere and maybe found a lake and just parked and just thought.
I would have my push and pull, but I would do that.
Right. But, obviously, I just would really like to know what was going through Billy's head at the time.
Yeah.
Why he thought this was the best way to go.
And at the end of the day, this might not be the scenario, but this is the theory that we have all basically come to.
Right.
And she was so advanced, her memory was gone most of the time. There's reports that she would be like mean to Billy.
And that could be a problem. Yeah, that's part of Alzheimer's if you're not sure or not understanding why. That is a sign that can happen. You just become aggressive. And they don't know they're doing it.
Yeah. And that stress that he's under from all of that, the stress that she's under,
right.
When on her good days she knows she does all of this, but she cannot control it.
Right.
I can almost understand. Again, I will never condone any suicide, but I can kind of understand the mindset of this ain't working. We got to do something different.
Right.
I wish they would have tried to have taken different steps.
And maybe, a lot of people think, well, if I put her in assisted living, maybe she, will get better care. And maybe he didn't want to do that. He wanted his woman, his honey with him. And I think this is the only way, because he knew it was just a matter of time. We know any information how well, did they have a happy marriage? Do we know?
I believe they did.
Because I'm sure they're looking at least over 40, 50 years of marriage, guys. So
I haven't found any information that would make me think that they were having any kind of marital issues or that they had really ever had issues.
Or if there was any problems or issues that might have caused them to leave, and that's where we come to you guys. if you know anything about Billy Bob and Mary Lou Black of Atchison, please get a hold of us. We need as much information as we can get. And I just, like I said, this case just, it breaks your heart. And I want to find them. I want them to be, I want them to be found. I mean, they're together, but it's different.
Yeah.
This case is very, very different. And they were last seen in, what was it, a 1990 Honda Civic.
Yeah.
It was light blue, four-door. Can I go ahead and do
Yeah.
that? Okay. License plate and case AWX 605. And they lived, is that their...
Yes.
The 24 block of 2400 block, of Pacific Street in Atchison, Kansas.
When they were seen the day they disappeared, leaving their house, they were going south on Pacific Street. That goes down, if you take a left, it takes you to a secluded public, it's pond basically. It's a small pond, you can fish in it. Mm-hmm. It takes you right to that location, and that is still probably my number one area of interest.
We don't know the name of that little pond?
No.
Or is it on someone's property?
No, it's public.
It's public?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we will be out there soon and searching that location.
And if you know the name of the little pond he's describing, please let us know so we can at least have that information.
See, there's several small ponds around Atchison. The only name I actually know is Warnock because we fished that one quite a bit.
But there's Bean Lake, Warnock.
Bean Lake is the lake on the Missouri side.
Yeah. But that was brought up somewhere at one point.
Yeah, this is from our friend from a very close state to us. You know who you are. Thank you so much. And we have, after talking to this person and them sharing their ideas with us, I used Google Earth to search on Bean Lake, and I have found an object of interest that we will be checking out there. And that whole lake will need to be checked for sure, but I want to check that object out for sure.
And, I'm going back over the notes here. There's a chance he might have, and this might even come from the source you were just talking about, that he might have picked a place or a lake or pond that he wouldn't be found right away. He wanted it might be ruled as an accident, not suicide. I mean, my first thought when I first heard this case, foul play, family. I don't know why, but I went straight there. And I was completely, that's not it, guys.
I don't feel that
I don't feel it is either. But yeah, this is just one of those cases that just, it breaks my heart.
Hopefully, I believe with the locations we now have to search, I'm about 85% convinced that we will likely find them in one of these locations.
And like I said, they're together, but it's I wish they could have done something different.
Yeah. And at their age with their medical problems, the fact that they are together is, to me, that's beautiful. Even in going back, I don't condone suicide.
No.
But the fact that they are together and likely went together, to me, that's beautiful.
It is. That's one of the things I was saying. They've been married for so many years. They've gone through probably hell and back. Just probably good old, down-to-earth people. And wife got sick, and it probably all went down and Billy probably didn't know how to handle it anymore. So.
I don't know how I would be able to handle Megan not knowing who I was.
Right.
And possibly even scaring her because she doesn't know me.
Right. But that's the thing, when you have a disease like this, you have to learn to deal with it. They're not doing it on purpose. We have, on Megan and I's side of the family, we have dementia that runs in the family. And that is just as bad. And I've got a few family members on my mom's side that has it already, and it changes. It's like a totally different person, but you just have to take it, and because you love those people, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, enjoy the time with your family. Love them. Let them know you love them,
Right.
because none of us are promised tomorrow.
Right. This is, like I said, the Black case, Billy Bob and Mary Lou Black. It's very close. It's just an amazing case, and I'd give anything to be able to close that for them
And their
Get it
adult
done.
son, who I believe still
Right.
lives in Atchison.
And do we have his name?
I don't.
You know what? Let's not
Yeah.
do that. But yeah, they do have a son, just one.
Yeah, that I know.
And
Yeah, I
he,
believe
he's
just
still
one.
he lives in Atchison as well. So I'm sure he'd like to know where mom and dad are.
Yeah, and I want to talk with him before releasing his name, and
Right.
we'll share that with you, that update, once
Right.
that happens.
Anyway, that's the Black case. So I will let you do this one.
Now we're going to go into somewhat of a brain twister with this one. This is Jason Landry out of Texas, missing since December 13th or 14th.
Yeah. Yep. Either the 13th or 14th.
And he
Of
was
this
on
last
his
year?
yes.
Okay.
He
So-
was on his way home from Texas State University to spend time with his family, and he did not make it home. His car was found wrecked in a small town, middle of nowhere.
You blink, you miss it type of town.
Yeah.
So, probably one main highway. I would
Yeah.
think.
And when his dad made it to this location, the vehicle's gone, and his son's belongings are scattered all across the road, including what his dad said is the clothes his son was wearing that day. The state trooper, I believe it is, who responded to the scene of the wreck, a single car wreck, saw the vehicle, nobody was in it, the keys were on, the lights were on, and he just had it towed to an impound lot. Did
All
not
right.
do a formal investigation on this.
And that just blows my mind. Seriously? I mean, it's a rural town. Maybe they don't have a lot going on. But seriously? What?
And this one, I still got to talk to the dad on this and get more information on if an investigation did end up being conducted, the findings of that. But Jason has not been seen since then. I've seen pictures of his vehicle. The front and the back were both crunched in.
But there was by himself.
Yeah. To me,
yeah.
the looks of the vehicle, it looked like the vehicle was sandwiched, is what it looked like to me.
So possible maybe hit and run. Maybe.
That or some. This one, it could even be abduction, and it could be enemies. It could be, you don't hear about it as often with the guy as you do female trafficking. There's trafficking covers so much more than like your
There's child
sex.
labor. There's
Yeah.
sex trafficking. There's, people
body
body
organs and-
organs on the black market. I mean, there's so much that's involved with trafficking, guys. It's not just a child or a female thing.
So there is right now the potential for anything on this case.
Yeah. This is the one that just kind of makes you go, what?
Yeah. When I was reading the information on this, that's what I done. I had to go back and read it again. It's like, what am I seeing here?
Like, what did we miss something? Did we read over it? Because it makes no sense. His own clothing was on the highway? Clothing that he maybe was wearing?
That report was so detailed that even the underwear that he was wearing was found on the road.
What? How?
And for me, I'm not going to say the dad's involved in this at this point by any means, but to me, a red flag that went off was if he's coming from the college to go home to spend time with the family, how did his dad know what clothes and specifically what underwear his son was wearing to know that's what was found on the road?
Because, if you drive a rural highway, sometimes you find a lot of trash on the side of the road, guys. It's just how it goes. But to know exactly what,
Yeah,
that just kind of, I was like, what?
I've got to talk with the dad because there are a lot of unanswered questions that he will be able to answer that is going to help steer us in the direction we need to go to further this case.
So it looks like, okay, was this the location it happened on?
Yes.
So it was Highway 80. He had just passed under I-35.
Yeah.
And then, is this where he was headed? Was it, what's this? The San Marcos. What's that?
It is a suburb of Houston.
Okay. And that's where he was headed?
Yes.
Okay. So.
And his phone last pinged in
Lulling, is that correct? Lulling, Texas. Highway 8, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
So, so this is just kind of, and is Highway 80, do we know, is that a big highway?
That I'm still not aware of.
So.
This one I've dug a little bit into, but I'm mostly waiting to be able to talk to his dad
Right.
to get certain questions answered to give us a better idea of where we're going.
Right. But this case is just one of those that 21-year-old boy just kind of disappears out of thin air. And I'm assuming he's got nothing with him. So speaking of which, and you probably already said it, did they find a phone, keys, and whatnot in the vehicle still?
The keys was in the vehicle. There's no report of finding a phone.
Okay. I was going to say they could probably go in and research for the phone, but this is just one of those that, what?
Yeah.
So that's one of those cases that we're still trying to figure out as we go. This next case, guys. This one's about Molly Miller and Colt Haynes, Oklahoma. You tell me what you think.
Information we have uncovered, we know the person that was driving the car is related to the guy who was the sheriff at the time. We know that the sheriff had been arrested and charged with corruption, and reportedly due to this case, the field the car was found in, wrecked, totaled, has been reported to be the property next to the property the sheriff lives on. To my knowledge, I have found no records of the sheriff's property ever being searched. You had Colt calling friends the night they disappeared,
Right.
said his ankle is broken, he's laying in the ditch on this road, he needs them to come get him.
How did they get to that point?
They were riding with Nip, and Nip was throwing rocks at a law enforcement officer's vehicle, so the chase begins.
So they were antagonizing the police department.
And he turns into, and he was going up to speeds of 120 plus miles per hour, and he turned into oncoming traffic, and through this process he lost law enforcement. And the vehicle was found a week later totaled in the ditch. He was actually picked up the day after they disappeared, but he never cooperated with the case. The Colt called his friends, said his ankle's broke, he's in the ditch. His friends drive out to the road where he said he is, with him on his phone. They honk their horns, he cannot hear them. The phone cuts out, he's never seen again. Molly calls her friends and her family, said she's in the middle of a field in this area. They get there, they never find Molly. Neither one of them have been found again.
And mind you, Molly was 17 at the time.
Yeah.
She was 5'5". She weighed 95 pounds. She's this little itty bitty thing. And Colt
Tex.
was what? Sorry, the dog. Colt was what? 21, 6 foot, 180 pounds. So I mean, it's not like you can miss him. It just
Yeah.
If you've ever heard of this case, they actually made it into what, a movie?
It was a movie or a
Was it a
series type thing.
Do you remember what kind of?
Lifetime thing.
It's like a Lifetime movie about this. So, and then the more information we're getting about this just blows my mind, guys.
Yeah, the sheriff allegedly told his deputies to pull off of the case, not
Yeah.
even to investigate it,
Yeah.
and has not
No,
helped
that's
in this case whatsoever.
yeah, that's not bad. That's fine.
And I feel that there's a pond on the sheriff's property, and it's a pretty good piece of property.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're either in the pond or they're buried on that property.
Yeah. Law enforcement finally caught up to him, and of course, you know, they probably, Molly and Colt probably were trying to get out of it. I don't know. And law enforcement thought no. And yeah.
And if you are related to either one of these individuals, please reach out to us. I would
Yeah.
love to talk to you about this case.
Yeah.
My printer was missing.
We have
Oh,
some missing, you know, actual photos, but there's the printer just did not work with us.
Yeah, if you go to our Facebook page, Muddy Water Search and Recovery,
Yeah.
a lot of our flyers are
Oh, yeah.
on there,
Yeah.
and we're working to update with our new flyers.
Right. Let's see. So that's pretty. Yeah, this one is one of those you can't help but just sit back and smile because you're like, seriously? I mean,
See, the suspects is James Knipp and his girlfriend Sabrina Graham. They both were arrested shortly after on unrelated charges, and neither one have cooperated with this investigation. All Nip would say is he's parked the car and run one direction in the woods, and they took off and run a different direction in the woods.
why were they running? Why did they have to run?
And how is Colt going to run with a broken
Yeah.
ankle?
Exactly. So yeah, that's one of those. They're pretty much just giving it away at the beginning there. I mean, I mean, you could put the pieces together yourself. So, but yeah, that's just still one of those cases that just okay.
And if you've got any information, any theories, thoughts on any of these cases, please keep that information coming to us.
Yep.
As she said earlier, that is what helps us solve these cases.
Right.
The 47 plus that have been solved, that has been a huge factor in these cases, is people reaching out, people sharing that information, and
Yeah.
taking action.
I mean, because we have our theories, but those are theories, and we get those theories from what you tell us.
Yeah.
Or
Teamwork all
yeah,
the way around.
teamwork. You guys are part of it just as much as we are. So, congratulations, you guys are kicking butt. So,
And Megan has been hiding from us this entire video, but she's coming to say hi.
yeah.
Hi.
School starts tomorrow, guys. So
Yeah,
just getting the
I've been
kids
busy,
ready.
sorry.
So, but yeah.
I can't make up my mind if she's happy mama, gonna get some peace and quiet, or if she's
Or if
nervous
it's one of
wreck
those,
mama because her
yeah.
kids will be gone.
I don't want him to go.
I have 2 teenagers in high school, so you know, whatever.
She's used to it at this point.
right. Anything else you want to talk about?
Say we just done a giveaway on a
Yeah.
Facebook live
Yeah.
feed that we announced the other day, and we already got the
Yeah,
winner.
awesome.
And the question we asked,
Was how many missing persons? Let's see. Let me get this right. How many people were reported missing in the United States in 2020? What is, now that we have the winner, we can go ahead and mention the count. 543,018 as of 2020. That number, believe it or not, has gone down.
that is the lowest. I looked at the last 5 years, and that is the lowest. It
Yeah.
gradually come down.
Like almost 100,000.
Yes. Yeah.
That is amazing to me.
5 years ago, it was like 650 something thousand, and we're
Right. I mean, it's slowly coming down, but with COVID and all that, good stuff that's going on with that, that probably puts whatever, but people are still disappearing, guys.
Yeah, and Mike King on Profiling Evil brought this up yesterday, I believe it was, on a live feed. And he was talking about how he believes there is so many more cases last year and this year that did not get reported because of COVID. People's not missing their neighbors being out because nobody's going out.
Right. So there's probably a lot of cases out there that are brand new but nobody knows about because of COVID. So. Yeah.
And I want to jump back to the summer case with something that Mike King brought up. He brought up, out of all the tens of thousands of kids that go missing every year, how is it that Summer Wells is the one case that instantly got national attention, blew up all across the country, across the world? And he didn't really go into an answer on that, but I wanted to see if we could kind of discuss our thoughts with this. My opinion is it has to do with social media, because it instantly went on social media the minute this case was announced, and it blew up from there.
Right.
Somebody took the time to push that case.
Right. And because you did that, or whoever, look how far it's gotten, and they're making more headway. It took one person, I would think, I'm not sure, but it took one person to put it on there, and then boom, it is where it is now.
And we have viewers from several different countries who have actually shared theories and information on many of these cases, including Summers.
Right. I mean, we've got Italy, we've got Germany,
Denmark.
So yeah, I mean, any theory, I don't care where you are.
We will take
we'll take
any
it.
information.
We'll listen. Yeah.
And no matter how big or small it may seem, we take every piece of information serious. We go through it thoroughly.
Right.
Even if you think it sounds dumb.
Yeah.
Tell us anyway.
As she's saying, even if it makes no sense to you, or you think, oh, well, what good is this going to do? This is just something I noticed that they didn't see. That might be what we needed to see.
Yeah, typically it's one little small detail that solves one of these cases. Yeah. So keep that information
Absolutely.
coming to
47 under our belt that we've helped, and you guys have been such a big part of it, and we can't thank you enough.
And we're hoping, and I had somebody ask me, why don't you share every time one of those cases are solved? The simple answer for that, we weren't the only ones involved there trying to solve that. Other people were the ones who physically were there.
Yeah.
I don't want to take their credit.
No. Yes, we had a hand in it, but the people that actually put, that are there.
Yeah.
They obviously had a big hand in it, and it's just nice to know that we took part in some of it.
Yeah.
And we're able to help a little bit.
So let me pick a name. I'm going to use Catfish Bob for an example. Catfish, I hope you're doing good. But let's say Catfish Bob is working a case and he contacts me and says, what are your thoughts on this? And I tell him where I would look. I think you should look at this location. Catfish Bob goes and looks in this location and he finds the missing person. If I come on here and I say, Muddy Water Search and Recovery found this missing person, we done this.
Yeah.
But Catfish Bob is the one who found this person.
Yeah.
I'm wrong. I am lying to you by telling you
Yeah.
I solved this.
Right.
So that's why a lot of these, we'll announce that somebody may have been found, but we're not taking the credit because it's teamwork, team effort.
Yeah, we're not going to get on there and say, hey, we solved number 48, great, this is the best feeling in the world. No, we didn't.
Yeah.
We helped.
We
helped.
were a small piece
Yeah.
in a big
Yeah.
chunk
Small
of teamwork.
fish in a big pond.
There we go.
So yeah.
Pond. I'm ready to go fishing now.
Yeah, apparently.
That's the second time I mentioned fishing in one video.
Yeah. So anyway,
So for now,
we hope we helped you guys out a little more. We haven't done one of these videos in a while, but hopefully you're a little caught up more now. And if you have any information,
yeah, and share your
Please
theories
let us
with
know.
us. Let us know
Yes.
your theories on these cases.
we need it.
We've got other cases we'll be doing something similar with soon. In fact, we might do a live feed on YouTube before long.
Oh yeah.
So that way we could actually connect with you live on here and discuss the theories.
Yep.
And we'll get Megan more involved into that video.
Right now she's just school, guys.
I'm prepping
School's
for
starting.
school.
So yeah,
And
she's
she's shy anyway, but she's really camera shy that we're trying to break her from it. And I am getting that look that you guys
he's
know
in big
when
trouble.
you're in trouble.
Yeah, I think he's in big trouble, guys.
I'm still getting that look.
God love her.
I need to know that I got some of y'all on my side in case I disappear. I know you're gonna find me.
All right, guys. With that being said, if you know anything more about any of these cases or want to know more information, please get a hold of Denny or your local, wherever this might be. There's more people out there that can help you.
Yeah, until next time, y'all stay safe and let's bring some of these people home.
Bye.